Hello and welcome to this video on the slump in German leading indicators and why many economists are still optimistic for the second half of the year. The ifo business climate has already slumped twice in a row. The Purchasing Managers Index for manufacturing has fallen 5 times. Incoming orders are also pointing downwards. These warning signals have a lot to do with the massive interest rate hikes that central banks around the world have been forced to implement due to high inflation. Nevertheless, many economists expect the German economy to pick up in the coming months. Many point to the end of the zero corona policy in China. But after a brief recovery, the Chinese economy is weakening again. Our exports to China are not recovering. A second argument for an upswing in the second half of the year is that many orders were not worked off during Corona, which will now boost production. But a survey by the ifo Institute shows that companies have already worked off a good part of the backlogged orders. A majority of firms even says that the level of orders is now too small and no longer high. A third argument for an upswing in the second half of the year is private consumption. Inflation is easing, consumers' purchasing power is recovering, but wages are likely to rise more slowly than inflation until the end of the year. In addition, the federal government's energy subsidies will expire in the coming months. Consumer purchasing power is not likely to increase strongly enough to boost the economy in the second half of the year. All in all, the arguments of the economic optimists are not convincing. The slump in leading indicators and the global rate hikes suggest that the German economy will contract again in the second half of the year. Also, the recession will probably not be deep due to the stable labor market. Nevertheless, economic weakness is another argument that the ECB's rate hike process will end in the summer.